to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. 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 So any minute now, this video is starting. I'm gonna pretend that it has started.
It says it's
because
now streaming live on YouTube, but
cool.
I don't know.
We're live on YouTube. Welcome to the channel. So thank you for tuning into this. This is the first time that we are streaming live to YouTube. It's before been done to Facebook, so it's going to be a bit of a different experience this time. We will have a lovely channeling transmission from the Pleiadian Council beginning shortly. And just kind of, we'll chill here for a moment until people pop on. I'm going to edit into the video right now the link to the Zoom so that people can find that. And then I can put out the YouTube link. How's everybody doing who's here with us right now?
Doing okay. It was a pretty
Fantastic.
big, intense full moon last night, so just kind of reeling from that.
Oh, Aries full moon, you gotta love it. You really do.
I'm an Aries, so it was my sign.
You're an Aries?
I'm an Aries.
Wow,
March 31st, 1965. Ram tough.
I thought you were a Pisces.
Pisces moon.
Pisces moon.
Aries sun.
Right.
Quintuple Pisces Virgo.
Welcome, Emily. Very welcome, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. I love that when that comes up. When that comes up, Dante's channeling started. It's just like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, Friday night, obviously. What time is it with you, Dante?
It's noon, midday.
Nice. 7 o'clock.
I forget where you are, Emily. What part of the world?
UK.
Aha, yeah.
So it's literally my Friday night in.
What time is it for you? Like 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's 11.
Oh, nice. You got the whole day ahead. No, I go to bed dreaming of Dante.
Aww.
Hey, you know,
So
after
funny.
Dante, after you and I Zoomed, I dreamt of you all through my dreams. I was trying to find you. I had gone to Guatemala to find you, and I was looking for you.
Crazy.
And it was so real. It totally felt like I was like our reunion was imminent. But I was looking through all these people, and I was like, where is he? He has to be here.
I tend to hide.
It was funny. I found this guy who had blondish hair, and I was remembering, no, your hair has that reddish tint because of the henna. So I was like, that's not him. I woke up in the morning just like, where's Dante? Like, where's Waldo, right? But it was a where's Dante experience.
I will destroy this computer, I swear.
What's happening?
I just can't. It wants to do all sorts of evil things when I'm trying to put my email address in. It's like, oh, you're trying to do something other than what you're doing.
Can you share the link, sweetie? Can you share the YouTube link so I can put it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay,
thanks for everybody who's bearing with us.
You want to share it in the chat, and I'll just copy paste it to YouTube?
I'm going to share it in the chat.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to share it now in the chat.
Okay, cool. I will post it.
And that's, okay, so there in the chat is the YouTube thing. And now we're going to get started because we've got some people here.
Holy cow, what
Okay,
did I
so
just do?
make Sarah host. Make host. Did I? Oh,
Okay.
no, not yet. Not yet. Hold on. I'm going to start recording and then I'm going to make Sarah host.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Good, good, good. Oh, come on. Let
We're
me
being
copy
smart.
it. Oh, you're
Okay.
very smart. Very smart.
Make host.
Control copy. All right.
All right.
I'm going to get this on Facebook.
So welcome everybody. This is Dante here with you.
Greetings.
We're all here together today. So yeah, this is the weekly live stream channeling session, and the Pleiadian Council comes through to answer questions and shed some light for everyone in our processes of spiritual growth, healing, coming to become more telepathic, connected beings. So whatever you feel like you want to bring to this space, it's really a gift to everyone and a gift to yourself to grow with this information and use it to strengthen your own connection. So just some guidelines for the space. If you're in the Zoom room, just keep yourself muted at all times when you're not speaking, because the background noise sometimes will get in and can be a little bit disruptive or a lot disruptive. So
Sweetie, you got yourself echoing.
you can just read your questions whenever the previous question is really finished. Make sure that it really feels like it's come to a conclusion.
Hey, Dante,
sometimes
mute
there's
yourself
pauses.
on one of your calls.
Oh,
I mean,
what do you mean? I'm muted.
you've got, oh, okay, I must have two windows open. It's me.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, just wait to make sure that the person before you is really complete before you begin, and then you can go into your question and try to be to the point with the question. Some background story is okay, though I would say assume that they know more than they do know, and we can really get to the very crux of what's going to happen and come through for you. And you can also type in questions if you're watching on YouTube or if you're in the chat. So Sarah will read the questions. There's already a couple pre-submitted questions. If you join the Patreon community, you can submit questions in advance. And hopefully if more people sign up and are committed to having private channeling sessions for the Patreon community, that's something that I'm intending to offer. So you can type your question in and we will go through as many of the written questions as we can, though we do tend to prioritize the questions that are asked out loud because we can go a little bit deeper with those. Also, I think that's it. I think that sums it up. So a little plug, there's one more spot open for the channeling class. We're almost completely full. And if you want to learn how to channel and develop some intuitive healing gifts, that's starting in a little over 2 weeks. So it's going to be a very exciting and powerful journey. I always offer one-to-one sessions for people to go deeper. And if you experience something powerful during this and you'd like to support, the donations are graciously accepted, and you can see the links there in the YouTube, the description of the video, and I will type them out in the chat too at some point towards the end of the transmission. Okay, is that everything? Is there anything that you can think of that should be shared, Sarah?
No, I think that's it. We always love it when you come on with your voice and come on camera to ask your question. It's wonderful to have you in the Zoom room. So join us here if possible. Otherwise, I can look at the questions submitted on your YouTube feed, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find that right now. And yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and mute
right.
myself. I had the YouTube window open and the Zoom window, so it was going. I was like,
Oh yeah, you got to mute one of those, I guess.
yeah, yeah, I'm learning. Okay, all right, here I go. I'm muting myself.
Party, honey? Apache? Apache? Huh?
Ooh, we need you muted. Can we get whoever that was muted? I think we got it. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Hello, and we do say a good day to all of you at this moment. It is our pleasure to greet you. As the Pleiadian Council, we speak on behalf of a galactic alliance of many sorts of beings, extraterrestrial and otherwise, who would like to support your planet in joining this growing alliance of light and help you to move through these powerful times of transformation in your world. First of all, we thank you for it is a pleasure to establish this connection. It is a pleasure to experience your world, and we grow and evolve as well through the reflections you offer us. Now, as we share these messages, know that there is also a transmission of energy that you can tune into, that as your world grows, all of you are just as capable of establishing a clear connection with your own guides and using that to expand your intuitive gifts, to see more of what is behind the scenes and be of support to this process. So to open this transmission today, we will first share a guided experience for you to use your own awareness to open to clear connections whenever you would like. So please first take a moment then to close your eyes, taking deep breaths in with your in-breath, pulling air and energy in through your nose, and imagine your body growing, expanding, becoming taller, straightening your spine, and exhale, relaxing, letting go of any tension, allowing yourself to move into a deeper restfulness. Inhaling again, feeling yourself growing tall, opening, expanding, and exhaling, relaxing. Bring your focus then into your own heart center. And imagine a brilliant light glowing, vibrating there at your core in your heart. With every breath in, feeling that light growing stronger, just a bit brighter. knowing that here is where you establish connection with others and with your own higher self and guides as well. Know that it is here that you expand into your essential nature as a being of love. And that when you feel the frequency of warmth, passion, a tingling, or even a trembling here in your heart, your frequency is raising. You are bringing more of your higher self in to your body vessel. As you focus there in your heart, perhaps remembering the moments in which your heart felt the greatest exhilaration, the greatest bliss, the greatest awe. Allowing snapshots of those moments to flicker, yet focusing more on the feeling that lights up in your heart. And feeling from your heart center now a column or a tube, if you will, of energy move through your spine from the top of your head to the base of your spine. And then see that tube grow bigger, more brilliant, reaching down to the core of the earth, reaching up to the center of the galaxy. Feeling your heart still as that core, the center of this tube of light. Imagine that tube of light growing bigger and surrounding your entire body. From your heart center, first send roots of light down from your heart through your abdomen, your torso, your legs, your feet, and the base of your spine, then into the earth. As your roots grow in, feel both the support from beneath the earth and also feel the force of gravity pulling you down. Yet feel that gravity is a pleasant energy. Feel the support the earth has. Seeing those roots grow, begin to wrap around the roots of the other plants, the trees, the mycelium grid of invisible electromagnetic charges and impulses traveling across the whole globe. Feel yourself connected to this moving, living grid of energy. So you breathe in, take the energy in from the center, and as you exhale, allow the energy to drift down into the earth, growing down into a layer of rocks, minerals, crystals, metals. Feeling this energy deeper beneath you, and again breathing this energy into your body, and exhaling, traveling even deeper. Connecting then to all of the water beneath the earth. Streams, underground, ponds, rivers, lakes. The water of the whole world. Imagine this energy flowing up from the earth into your body, and exhale, traveling deeper, then all the way to the molten core of the earth. Deep where there's heat, magma, lava. This moving plasmatic energy. Again, all of these layers composed of the same elements that make up you in your body. Feeling again a wave of energy as you breathe in, come up from this layer, and exhale, going down to the deepest core of the earth, where there is then that solid iron core, vibrating, emanating what you may call the Schumann resonance, a force that vibrates all of the layers of the earth as it rises to the earth's surface. Imagine this energy traveling up through your feet, through your whole body. The energy of all of the earth coming to stabilize and support you. Your bones, your blood, your organs, tissues, and glands, all vibrating with this earth energy. Feel it filling you. Feel it going to any of those places where there's tightness, stagnation, fear. Breathe the earth energy into those places. And feeling the energy lift all the way to the top of your head. And there at your crown center, open another gate of energy to allow the cosmic waves as well to enter your body, to move through you now. Seeing again from your heart center channels of energy that connect from your core to your sun, to your moon, to many stars that you may or may not know, far out in the distance. First, feel from your heart these energies traveling to your sun and your moon, a gold and silver stream of energy now flowing into you. Feeling this upward gravity, that which makes your earth move. Knowing that all the time you are moving, experiencing together as an earth, a new part of the galaxy, a new part of space that has never been before explored by your earth. And it is because of the sun. Your sun now and always giving you the very gift of life force. Your sun as a cosmic being, a cosmic consciousness connecting all souls, whoever incarnated into this solar system of yours. Allow this solar consciousness to expand into a state of oneness and feel from the sun a great web of energy, much like that of a giant spider, connecting out to many stars beyond. Feel your consciousness making connections from the stars billions of light years away. Yet the energy here alive within you. Find your star of healing today, whether it is Sirius, Arcturus, our stars, Maya or Alcyon, or a star you may not know. Simply imagine it, far above you, yet sending a palpable energy down into your body. Finally reaching up from there, establishing one final connection to the galactic center itself. Supermassive black hole, yet that which contains a portal, an opening into all other galaxies, entire alternate universes. From this galactic core, feel the consciousness of Source and all of the creator beings, anchored, flowing to every star and to every cell in your own body. Imagine all this energy pouring down into you, into your open crown. Allow that starlight to flow into your body and move again to every cell, moving like a waterfall down to your feet, And with these two waves of energy established, bring your focus back into your heart. Feeling your heart grow with light. As the energies from above and below meet. And as you inhale, imagine all of that light moving from your heart up to the top of your head. And as you exhale, feel the energy moving down the front of your body, down to the base of your spine. On an inhalation, imagine the energy moving up your back to the top of your head. And on an exhalation, feel it moving down your front of your body, back to the base of your spine. And from there, simply intend that the energy move and circulate through your being, moving up and down, moving to every cell, allowing in all of the connections that are there for you. And knowing that as you move through this transmission, new codes, new frequencies, new information, as it travels through this channel, can be intuitively received. And behind the words that we speak, the energy transmissions can open up new connections within you. As you stay connected, your own guides can even establish that connection. So you invite them in from the stars into your body as a frequency. So before we begin this transmission, our opening remark then is that passion, love, excitement. This is the core of our message again and again, to find what uniquely activates that energy within you. What allows your heart to feel the lightest, the brightest, the most tuned in and turned on. That is what you must do. And as much of the time as you can, direct your focus to that which brings you expansion. So there is much to relearn, to make it so that in every moment, your default state is to pay attention to what lights up your heart. There is reprogramming to do from shifting your mental faculties from believing you must produce or achieve to actually remembering that what you are here to do is experience pleasure. And when you connect to the higher pleasures, your whole body will be an experience of delight. Your whole energy field will radiate that delight, and others can together experience that as well. Again, we must remind you that pleasure is one of the greatest points of being here at all. For souls can grow and evolve on other planes that are non-physical. Though for a soul to come into a physical incarnation, especially a planet that is transitioning from a solely physical awareness to a higher consciousness awareness where you can maintain physical bodies, yet be fully engaged in astral planes and beyond, is quite a gift, yes, this incarnation. And you choose this because physical reality offers you something that only physical reality can grant you. And that is pleasure. And the flip side of pleasure, the pain, only comes when you choose faulty pleasures, really. For those things that you engage with that fill you with vitality will not leave a sting afterwards. And so much of the time, you forget that what you are doing with your energy will later cause you pain. Because instead of choosing those things that leave a lasting charge of love in your vessel, you choose those things that temporarily distract you from what you would not wish to feel. And every time you do that, you are preventing that source energy from expressing itself through you. So instead, you must remember that everything that you choose that really truly lights up your heart must still be done in a way that is mindful, in a way that does not swing to excesses, and brings full consciousness into every sensation, every physical sensation, and every emotional, energetic sensation. The more you bring your awareness into the movement of energy, the more you will be able to direct that flow of energy. And the more time you focus yourself in a way that allows you to feel genuine lightness, fluidity, the more you will be able to adjust to the new times your planet is entering. For many things are changing. The rigid ways you have done things are now slowly coming to an end. You are coming into a world where you can be light, where you can go with the flow. And when your intuition, governed by, again, that feeling of love and inner alignment, will lead you in shockingly brilliant directions. Though first you have to make sure you always choose those things that truly light you up. And you choose to do them in ways that maintain your inner balance and true, complete awareness of everything alive within you. So we hope that supports you. And we know that as we continue to share our messages today, this subject and many others will be explored in deeper ways. We thank you for, again, choosing to connect with us, because it is a great gift for us. We then will ask you to begin with your questions and inquiries and comments. We will do our best to reflect to you that higher truth, in hopes that you may tap into your own higher self and guides to allow even more the information you need to be received and integrated, so that your whole world may shift, transform, and ascend, as you say. So do begin whenever you wish.
I would love to follow on the kind of the segue of that beautiful message. Last night, I was looking at my multiple websites, my multiple Patreon sites, my multiple Facebook pages, and just looking at and just feeling so much efforting, like so much of a sense of like, okay, it feels like my higher self spoke to me and said that I am to take up the mantle of a leadership role in this time for
Yes.
humanity. But when I'm at an ego level and I'm looking at my websites and I'm trying to think of how this is to happen and what I'm supposed to do, the sense of this overlay of efforting to make it happen just makes me want to go overdose on THC again and disappear as a self, because the self that is interfacing with all this technology and all this efforting is so counter to my well-being as a soul. And so my question, I mean, my higher self is kind of already telling me, it says, that to trust, right? I put out on Patreon a new community that people can join me in. I've stepped up to do full moon and new moon live transmissions, no matter what, on those days. And I've stepped up to do music every first and third Tuesday. So, I mean, it's like I am stepping up in ways. And yet the financial piece of how to support this life financially is still, I just wonder if something is going to rise up underneath me when I'm actually ready to be in a position of a more public servant to the divine. And if I should just stop efforting, just stop efforting.
You have to stop making it effort. You have to continue to do the same things, but your attitude determines whether that action is something that wears on you or if it's something that builds you up.
Okay, so there's an attitude. So I'm trying to identify that. Like,
expose the attitude yourself, because you are doing this in a conditional way. You are doing this with a thought in the background, this has to come to support me. And that thought itself makes everything you're doing tense. So it blocks, it constricts the flow of energy. And in order for it to shift from the effort spectrum to the playful spectrum, you have to totally let go of the results of what you are doing and simply do it for the sake of doing it. Because if you didn't enjoy doing it, you wouldn't be doing it at all. So your belief system that says, in order for this to have value, it has to convert into the value that most people agree is the best value. You have to take that belief system and dismantle it slowly. Recognize that whenever there's tension, there is attachment. Whenever there is effort, there is tension. So effort in this case is the result of your attachments. And in order for it again to flow in the most genuine way, you must do it for the sake of doing it. And the more momentum that has, the more the true self-love expands and goes to new levels of expression. And that value that you generate then will reflect back to you in the ways that it helps you to meet your needs. And again, by recognizing and affirming to yourself that your needs are always met, it is easy to release these attachments, and you can step into that higher frequency when you're not doing it because of what is going to come back to you as a result. You're doing it because of genuine unconditional love.
I hear you. I'm just it's interesting to have felt that unconditional love, or to have felt that absolute support of the living matrix, of the source of my genesis, and then to
Yes.
fall out of it, to fall out of it into the distortion of separation consciousness. And
Though every time you do that, you are able to rise a little bit higher, because when you fall, it's like you release a little rubber band. There may be many different rubber bands that are a sort of family together that make up a belief system. And the rubber bands pull you down, and then you lift back up. And the action of doing that gradually deteriorates the rubber bands, and they fall away.
wow.
So instead of judging the up and down, you can celebrate the up and down, because it will take that up and down to break every single one of those little rubber bands.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Yes, so thanks to you as well.
Wow. We do
Hello,
have
Pleiadian Council. Oh,
yes.
can I
Is
go?
there no? Is there? Yes, Michelle, go ahead, sweetie. Yeah, we had one question in the chat, but our spoken questions go first. So go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So I was wondering if you can explain more about cats. I heard something about their eyes being an interdimensional portal, and when you look into their eyes, it can take you there. I have my cat, and I've done that, and I'm not exactly sure how or what's going on there in terms of traveling interdimensionally. If you can explain something about that, that would be great.
Yes. Well, cats are linked to many different feline extraterrestrial groups. And as a sort of collective soul family, they can tap into one or many of these groups. They are highly sensitive beings to everything occurring around them. And really, the time when they are, in a sense, the most interdimensional is when they are sleeping and when they are interacting with humans. So you could say when they are sleeping around humans, they are often doing a lot of energetic work with you. Beyond the physical eyes, you can connect into the inner eye, the third eye, your own, and that of your animal friend, and allow for the frequency they emit throughout their life to gently guide you. Noticing when the cats come to you, they are typically coming to support a release of energy. So often the cats will psychically absorb negative energies from humans and from the environment. When they sleep, they leave this plane and allow for a soul merge to take place with their other incarnations. Some of you might say home planets, so they are also home on this planet. So as they establish those higher connections, the energy that they absorbed in the physical plane disperses and is transformed, and they then come back and carry about their life and experience. Now, regarding more about their eyes, yes, you can tap into the other soul aspects of any given soul by looking into their eyes and focusing your awareness in a particular way. It requires the activation of your imagination, and through that imagination, your psychic senses. And actually we would say it's easier to practice this with other willing humans. And as you get more tapped into the effect of this eye gazing practice, you may continue that practice with cats or other animals as well.
I missed the last part of what you said. It was a little technologically glitchy.
The very last part then we said was it may be more helpful to gain experience with this eye-gazing interdimensional practice with other humans who are willing participants. And as you develop that skill, you can then continue the practice with cats or other animals.
Okay, so the eye portal is not specific to cats, it's for any living being, really. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can bring in information from their soul and from their other incarnations. Though why it is particularly powerful with cats is because they tend to have so many otherworldly incarnations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much for that information. I have another question, if that's all right.
Yes.
Okay, so specifically with my cat, when she first came into my life a few months ago, I would cry a lot because what I interpreted was my heart kind of opening and expanding. And it still happens every now and then where I feel kind of this wave of bliss and joy, and then shortly after will be this kind of sadness that I feel.
Yes.
Would you be able to speak into that a little bit?
Yes, it is naturally a part of the process that the more your energy starts to integrate higher frequencies, the suppressed emotions that you may be holding on to come up to the surface. So the guidance then is to allow that release process, especially through crying. For tears, again, carry the emotional weight out of your being. Allow it and trust in it. And as you come to stabilize after those experiences, ask yourself, what then will fill you again with greater love? And again, much like we said before, trust that in that up and down, know that as you rise up, you will always find within yourself something that still needs to release or transform. So the waves, the ups and downs in the process are a part of the journey. And when you don't attach to the high feelings and you simply see them as part of a cycle, the low feelings as well become much easier to work with.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much.
Yes, so thanks to you as well.
Katrina, do you want to ask your question? Are you there, sweetie?
Yes. How are you?
Yes, hello. Oh, you're splendid as always.
Okay, great. I have two questions, but the first one it's following me since many months. Two guys appear in my life, but one of the guy I feel drawn to, but it seems judgmental. The other one seems to be the right one for me, but I am not interested. And the guide said we are part of a 3-person group agreement. I don't know what my higher self wants me to do about it. Have you some insight, please?
So the person you are interested in more seems to judge you?
I think it's a 3D matrix person, judgmental and not ready yet.
All right. Have you said that very thing to him?
I don't think he will understand.
All right. Though, then why do you have such a strong attraction to somebody when on another level you know they aren't ready for you?
I think it's past life connection, but I don't understand
Well, yes,
what I have.
there is a past life connection, but that isn't where you will find the solution.
Yes.
We require a muting. All right. So then the question would be, what quality in this person do you find attraction for?
I think our call is being bombed. I'm going to try. Can you remove this person? I'm going to try and remove.
Yes, remove them.
Yeah, they might come back. This is kind of a problem. I will keep removing, but if it gets consistent,
All right, yes.
hopefully it won't get consistent. Okay.
So
I
what?
don't know. I feel connection with this person, but for me, this 3D identity is not ready for me
Yes.
yet. So I don't know why this connection is still alive, because
Yes.
I can see the guy is not ready. So I don't understand.
Is it physical attraction or is it a quality within the person that you find attraction to?
I think it's maybe ego has mixed the past life connection. That's why it's mixed feeling,
Yes.
because it makes no sense otherwise.
There are past life connections there, though in a sense you must solve it in the present.
Okay, in the present, I don't give a fuck which one I will be with, but I know I have to find the one who will not judge me and help me to become a high version of myself. And I don't know which one I have to give more attention, the first or the second one.
Well, there are lessons being learned here. So actually, it is more helpful to give both of these people your attention and appreciate the attraction you feel to both of them for different reasons. Attraction does not have to manifest in romance. And if it manifests as romance, it does not have to be the conventional story of romance you are so often told. So simply appreciate the company. And when you let go again of attachment to finding the kind of relationship you think you need, you will understand that certain needs are being met by these relationships. And you may actually find qualities that you like and qualities that you don't like are equally being mirrored to you by both of these individuals. And when you can see those qualities within yourself and accept yourself and find ways to transform certain qualities, you will experience breakthroughs. And that is really what these relationships are here for you to experience.
Okay, you're really challenging myself, really, really a lot. Okay, so you mean I have to find a way to stay grounded and aligned, and during the future time I will
Yes.
learn, listen, and and clean all this situation.
Yes, if you learn the lessons, that is.
Oh, okay. I have also some very quick some issue with my work, current job. What do you advise me to allow more in my life? It's like the same problem as Sarah, but I wanted to understand what I am preventing, what I am contracting, please.
You are looking for new jobs?
I am waiting for it to manifest. I am not looking for.
But again, as we have said before, you cannot wait around for certain things. It requires your action in physical reality to manifest opportunities. So you can use time waiting productively when you focus your energy in things that truly bring you to feel expansion. Perhaps it is in creating art or exercising or experiencing time in nature or exploring your environment in some way. Though moving energy is required for you to step into that new level of work.
Okay, so you mean I have to rise up my vibration by doing low attraction, what I love, and at the same
Yes.
time churching, because more I will do love attraction, more I will get a highest timeline with a better perspective. That is what you are meaning?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You are great. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
yes. Our
Okay.
thanks to you. Our love to you as well. And again, the key for all of these situations for you is opening your creative expression, understanding you are innately creative, and all of these connections and everything you are doing can amplify creative energy. When you allow your authentic self through, and you allow your authentic passion to guide you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Our thanks to you as well. Yes.
Hi there, Pleiadian Council.
Hello. Yes.
Thank you for holding space for us.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well.
My questions today are referring to some current breakthroughs, because I
Yes.
never work on my money mindset, and it keeps coming up, and everyone's guiding everyone to work on their money mindset. I was just wondering if you could speak into that a little bit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, what about it?
Like, because it doesn't feel like my highest passion, but then it feels essential to do because it feels so good to break the conditioning.
Yes.
So would you say that it's quite an well, I don't know whether essential, but yeah, would you say that it is a healthy, and well, would you say it's an essential part of this?
Essential, no. Healthy for most people, yes. Essential, we would say no, because there are ways that you can experience abundance and you can experience perfect alignment, health, and relationships without using money. Not many have chosen that yet. It is not, in a sense, the path of least resistance right now, but it is possible. And many of you can experience greater abundance with less money when you exchange energy with each other. That is not money. So we wouldn't say it's essential, though we would say even if you explored that route, it would be very important to do so from a non-resistant attitude towards money. So if you would attempt to do that, but you held a great hate for money, it would not bring you the same degree of abundance because of the resistance clogging the flow of energy. So part of it then would, in any case, involve embracing money, seeing that the system itself is corrupt, but the idea and the use of it for you as an individual and for most people really is actually a very helpful, a useful tool for you at this time to understand that money is simply energy that allows things to happen, and therefore it is a very high frequency, and that by using money as a permission slip to reflect your own creative power, you can use money in a sense to amplify your frequency when you see the money that you have and have the ability to generate as an expression of everything you could potentially do in this life.
Yeah. Incredible. Thank you.
Oh,
Would
thanks
you
to
say
you as
that
well.
that aligns to when in your opening in regards to pleasure? Would you
Yes.
say, because I guess it's like that vibration of knowing that it's not about getting anything. Like we can have pleasure in our very essence of being, but then that the game of utilizing the high frequency of money to then experience more pleasure and amplify, you know, more love in the world. Okay.
Yes, that would be a good use of money. That is the way that it really serves as a catalyst in your awakening process.
Could I ask then if it is, because obviously I'm teaching this and I'd like to teach people obviously to move in, imagine their future self, and then that is a way of obviously aligning to that person, that future self. Yeah. Is that, would you say that that's correct?
It's part of it. To have the vision is, yes, part of it. The vision lays a groundwork, and through the vision you get a sense of the feeling state. When you see your future self experiencing abundance and sharing love with the world, it ought to generate a feeling of exuberance, of optimism, of a palpable sensation of love in your being. And then once you tap into that feeling, even that alone is not enough. You have to take actions that serve to amplify it. So anything that will amplify and expand the feeling of love within you then is a step in the direction of the vision. And it involves the very practical actions. When you see yourself owning a certain business, then every action along the way would be looking at the requirements and the exchanges and the procedures you must go through to establish that business. Those steps, yes, and also the steps of feeling passion and then channeling your passion into taking a walk in the park because that's what you feel like doing in the moment. And sometimes even those seeming secondary expressions of passion that don't directly relate to the long-term goal are actually where the biggest pieces of magic come, because perhaps you then take that walk and you run into somebody who gives you a revelatory message that then catalyzes growth in your process, or perhaps that person becomes a great ally to you. The truth is, you don't know why you feel passion to do everything that you do, but if you feel passion to do it, whether or not it seems to your rational mind directly related to the vision, it is directly related to the vision because it carries that same feeling frequency.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, sir. Thanks to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. So, shall we take some of our questions from the Patreon?
Yes, yes. Let us
Okay,
continue in that
so
way.
as we know, we have a lot of these. So I'm wondering how many we actually want to.
We will do one grouping of them at a time.
Okay. Okay, so the first one is, are we in the matrix in a thought experiment?
Well, depends how you look at it, really. That term, the matrix, has come to mean many different things in your world. So when we look to the latter part of this, are you in a thought experiment? Well, we would say yes, because you are beings of vibration and thought is part of that. And as you go about your life, the thoughts that you continue to repeat become belief systems, and there are many different sources of information coming towards you that guide you to thinking certain ways and therefore believing certain things. So what many people refer to as a matrix is a system of control that harnesses your energy in some way. So if you go about your life believing all of the information that you come across, then you will very well be in the matrix. And many people will deceive themselves because they will dissociate from one group of beings attempting to influence their thoughts in a certain way and find the opposing group of beings influencing thoughts in a different way, and think that hopping on the new bandwagon means stepping out of the matrix, but really you then just stepped into a different matrix. So in order to be truly free, you have to be an independent thinker. You have to be able to look past face value at the information you receive and really sit with it in a feeling way. How does the information and the energy really make you feel? Because if it is anything less than empowered love, there is something distorted going on. So to really step out of the matrix, it means you stop being a consumer of information and become a producer of information. And you can channel, and in that sense, you aren't really consuming when you are channeling, you are producing, because again, even though it does not come directly from the human you, your higher self allows an infinite flow of love-based information to come through you. And when you allow it through and send it out, you are producing energy and therefore stepping out of the control paradigm matrices.
Got it. Great. Okay, so the next one is there light energy trapped under Ayers Rock in Uluru, Central Australia?
Oh, it is not trapped. No, this is a great vortex. And it is a magnetic center that connects with many other centers like it around the world. So the energy here is potently charged, and it is a place where one can experience accelerated interdimensional travel and accelerated intuitive insight. By going to this such place and many others, you may find that you start to pick up on information more rapidly more readily. This particular center, then, you could associate really with the root chakra. Not that your earth has one root chakra, because again, your earth is a different sort of organism than a being like a human or an extraterrestrial that has chakras, though in function it is similar, because it is in a sense a foundation, and the frequencies here have much to do with the primal instinct and survival.
Beautiful. Okay. So the next one is, will Pope Francis be the last pope?
No.
Okay. And is the Roman Catholic Church a satanic cult? Well, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We would say that, again, those who generate the very idea of Satan are Satanists. So while other people may have tuned into the construction of Satan and seen it as a good thing for themselves and are literal Satanists, when one creates this false notion of Satan, you give energy into it. So this Satan being is an illusion, really. We've spoken about this before, so we can't say much more about it, though we would say that beyond that as well, the people in this Roman Catholic Church are linked into dark rituals, and while they present one front, what they do behind the scenes is the opposite. So that is simple, and you can find many other sorts of information of that nature.
Yep. Okay. Is Trump to be the last president of the USA?
There are shifting timelines. That is actual one potential timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Though what is universal about all the potential timelines is that there is a shift in that country and in the whole world. And it relates again to the idea of centralized authoritative power. And whether or not the timeline of Donald Trump being the very last president comes to be or not, there will be a growing awareness that the system of elections and the system of government in the United States is broken and cannot create a harmonious flow. And so it will be deconstructed rapidly or slowly. And actually, we would say in the more pleasant timelines, it is a medium slow deconstruction. Because again, understand that sometimes when you do certain levels of deconstruction too rapidly, the chaos that it creates can disrupt so many people and allow them to take on a negative charge. So the most compassionate way, again, to do this would be a gradual deconstruction, though your collective vibration will determine if you want to do it quickly or slowly, and you will see.
Okay, great. And then, well, this is kind of similar. Will the British monarchy end?
Yes, in the same way.
Okay. And the last one, are all countries' debts being cleared?
Eventually, not as quickly as some of you think, but eventually, yes.
Okay. All right. Those are all the Patreon questions. Is there anybody else in the Zoom room that has a question? Luke,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Hey, greetings, Pleiadian Council, and thank you for doing this.
Thanks to you as well.
First of all, I was wondering, apropos the vortexes and such, is there any special place in Romania, on the territory of country Romania, worth exploring that you would suggest? I know there's a ET base in Bucegi Mountains, and if you suggest any other place with vortexes and such, maybe.
Yes, there is a particular forest. We don't have access to the name at the moment, that we can say it is known for being haunted. And while there seems to be a very negative charge here, to an extent that is true, there is great information and insight and experience that can be had likewise in that same place. There are many other vortexes in what you know as Romania. Some of them happen to be valleys, mountains, and lakes. There is in a neighboring country, well, perhaps not very close, but significant enough to mention. In Bosnia, the freshly discovered pyramids are very important vortexes that you will come to learn much more about with time.
For those interested, maybe it's the Hoia Baciu forest. I will write it in the chat. Is it true? Hoia?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And could you please tell me my star family connections, my main connections, what those are?
There are many. In this general moment and short-term time frame, there is a strong connection for you with Arcturians.
Yep, I felt it. And anything relevant worth exploring in this direction that you would suggest?
The Arcturians deliver healing modalities and certain frequency alignments. So when you learn more about the idea of energy medicine and energy work, in your meditation, Arcturians can fill in certain gaps for you and activate these gifts. So you may want to learn some of these tools and perhaps learn something of the nature of Qigong, intending for these Arcturians to establish that connection with you, imagining the energy from their star again flowing into your channel, like in the meditation in the beginning, and focusing the energy in your abdomen, knowing that you can establish this connection with greater strength every time you come back to it, and play with these subtle energy exercises that they may show you. You may find that through doing healing exchanges, whether it is in person or remotely, that more of this Arcturian connection becomes clear for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And quick question about, I was wondering about the challenges that humanity is facing, maybe caused by the imbalances in nature with certain bugs, and also many animals do suffer about various things, about flea and ticks and the diseases caused by certain fleas. I don't remember exactly right now that very popular disease that's in the United States caused by ticks. Do you have any suggestion on how to remediate this? And also about situations, for example, that people have in their houses with certain bugs. if there are any plants, for example, that should be planted to get rid of the bug, or any genetical modifications that should be done to counteract the situation, to reduce populations of certain bugs, or any such suggestion, if you have.
Well, much of this will come as you gradually restore the balance between humans and nature in your world. So many of these things are occurring because the natural habitats of such animals are diminishing, and so they are coming closer to humans, and in a sense are attracted to the resources that humans have. So the long-term solution is in a way very important that it begins now to start to return and restore natural environments to their initial balanced state. As for the human resistance to such things, yes, to continue to take those things that boost immunity is key. And there are plant-based medicines that can really support the healing of many of these viruses. There are certain technologies and other plants that can help with this as well. There may come to be eventually a certain fungus that is repellent to insects, yet does not harm humans, that can be grown in certain areas. There are many more innovations of that nature to come, though. First of all, again, restoring natural environments and trusting for the sake of individuals that when you keep yourself in balance, while you may occasionally contract certain diseases, they do not have to become chronic. And when it does occur that these diseases become chronic conditions, there is a soul level agreement taking place for the soul to learn and grow from that discomfort. Though if you plan in advance, both in the longer term sense, or both in the collective sense and in the personal sense, you will be all right. So taking your immunity and your state of health into account at all times is going to become something more important for all of you, yes.
And also for the animals, any suggestion? I knew that diatomaceous earth, for example, is very good for fleas on the animals, because many compounds that were previously working with animals right now are not working anymore for ticks, for example. Is
Yes.
diatomaceous earth, or do you have any suggestion besides that?
Diatomaceous earth is a good one, yes. Also, perhaps citronella and other natural plants similar to this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That will be all.
Yes, thanks to you as well.
Great, Josh. Do you want to ask your question?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, great counsel. Great meeting you guys again. May I ask two specific questions?
All right.
Thank you. Recently, after various amazing events following your initial suggestions for clearing inner being or the inner child, I've started to spot interesting things, and I was wondering if there's such a thing as a half-awakened Kundalini, because I'm spotting a star following the moon at a very specific angle every night, as well as those telepathic, let's say, exchanges that we've spoken about a while back. Well, it's becoming more and more clearer, yet, and up to a point where there's an actual back and forth in the mind. Yet I'm still kind of weary of understanding, why is it only in my native language and what does it mean?
Well, again, these beings must speak to you in your native language because that is the only software your brain operates in, yes? So the words that you're hearing are a translation of the energy. Really, the information they are sending is telepathic, and it is pre-verbal. Yet your own consciousness, your mind, can translate all of that energy into words.
So this would be a specifically.
And as for a half, yes, go on.
Oh, so it would be a very specific stream of energy, as my native language is in French, yet my most commonly expressed and thinking language is in English. Wow.
Yes, it will come through the dominant language.
Thank you.
Though you may find that if you needed to translate information for somebody in French, that would also happen.
Okay, wow, thank you on that. What you were, sorry, before cutting you off, you were about to say something about the half-open Kundalini.
Well, it is not half open, but partially, yes, you could say partially turned on, but understand that the full activation of this energy occurs over a lifetime.
Ah, okay.
It is always
that
expanding.
Wow, thank you. Would that explain spotting this very bright star following the moon as well?
We're not sure.
Okay, I'll keep my eyes on it. I would also like to ask one last thing, and it's about body pain. Recently, when it came to, I understand both the aspect of the physical aspect, certain things that I need to take care of physically, yet I seem to be a bit at loss when it comes to the energetical aspect of some of these pains, such as a pain on, let's say, the left side of my stomach, but then right leg and right arm forming this odd body triangle. I was wondering if there was something. Yeah.
Well, it has to an extent to do with the masculine energy. Are you fully allowing, fully anchoring that aspect of your energy?
I would like a bit more description on that. Would it be being too logical or too grounded with rules?
No. In this sense, this masculine energy also represents the ability to take action, the ability to set boundaries, the ability to hold a stable focus, the ability to maintain commitments.
Yep, caught on all four. That are four things that are wobbly right now.
Yes. So this sort of masculine energy, this aspect of it, because there are many, really has to do with showing up and remaining consistent and stable. So you have to look at why you may be resistant to doing that and what experiences may have built up that resistance, as well as exploring this, continuing to move your body, circulate the energy where there is pain, literally move any joints or limbs in circles wherever there is pain, and stretch and feel.
Wow. Thank you. That's spot on. I'm already feeling it too. Thanks again. Great counsel.
Or thanks to you as well.
So I have a question on behalf of my good friend. And she had a very intense exchange with her family members over the full moon last night. And her question is, I mean, if you wish to comment on that exchange, I'm sure that would be appreciated. I did a healing with her and she's doing much better. But she's asking, what is the way forward for me to release all obstacles to love and embody my joy and truth fully? It's kind of a general question, but
release all obstacles to love. Yes. Well, we would say it begins in this case with developing a full degree of self-love, to be able to fully accept yourself as you presently are, and accept as well any parts of you that seek improvement, and then activate the love by showing up each and every day to live in a way that will guide you through that transformation. It begins with self-love. It begins with really being able to look into the mirror and say to oneself, I love you, I'm here for you. And that act of showing up for yourself will also help you to release people from your life that are in a way replacements for self-love. And finding self-love will also lead you to setting healthier boundaries so that when conflicts arise or something feels like a drain on your energy, you are able to say so and say, that is not really what you stand for or what you wish to experience. So self-love is also standing up for yourself. And self-love is then saying goodbye to connections that don't fully feel loving, knowing that when you end those connections and you allow the self-love process to continue to develop, you will then become a vibrational match to people who really reflect to you true, genuine love.
right. When these are like intimate, parts of her family, and she was needing to sing at her brother-in-law's funeral, is it best for her to just really not go to those family meetings and just stay away?
She will have to decide for herself.
Yeah.
Sometimes perhaps yes, sometimes perhaps no. It depends with what intentions and in what state she shows up. If there are boundaries in place, that connection could be beneficial. But when she does not have boundaries up and she is too energetically open, it can be of great detriment. But
Right.
even that is a great lesson. So no mistakes are made.
Oh my God. Okay. I feel like she should have just physically extricated herself. Like that would be my advice. When things get super intense and they're not even listening to your boundaries, then you need to just walk out of the room.
Well, that is also a way of expressing boundaries, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And
That
there's
is
a lot.
literally creating a big boundary between you and the
Yeah.
others. So
Just
that
leaving.
is good.
Okay. And then there's one last question. Then Shakayla has a Shikaya. I don't know, Shakaya. I don't know how I'm saying that. But the one
Hi.
question that I have, the last one, is Patricia Cota Robles talks about October 17th to 22nd as a planetary reboot, with cosmic intervention. And somebody also channeled the Arcturians and said there's going to be a big cosmic intervention mid-October. I wondered your comments on that. She says it's October 17th to the 22nd. Do you see that as well?
For those who choose it, they'll understand it won't be a cosmic revolution. There won't be ships landing to come and fix it all for you.
Right.
These sorts of things occur when you allow your own guides to support you through processes of transformation. So
yes.
Sometimes people will hop on these trains for the hype.
Got it. Okay. All right. So go ahead and ask your question, Shakaya. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Hello,
Hello,
yes.
good evening, guys.
Welcome, yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. The past month, I found myself kind of spiraling downward.
All right.
And I feel like, yeah. So I feel like I've been doing pretty well on my ascension journey, like with the whole integration process. And then I feel like I have cultivated a lot of presence within me, and then more trauma and more aspects came up to be integrated, and then I just got like overwhelmed and I started to push them away, and it just got like really just, I don't know, like I maybe I focused too much on trying to heal instead of, just taking it as it goes and following my excitement.
Yes.
And right now I just found, yeah. So I don't know what, looking at my situation right now, what do you think the best steps would be to take for me to start kind of getting more into alignment and releasing, resistance to this whole situation? Yeah, that's my question.
Well, joy is the greatest source of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Passion, comfort, connection are some of the greatest expressions of healing. So when you go within to connect with where energy may be stuck, it is just as important to go outside and find ways to cultivate the opposite sort of energy. If you find great sadness inside, then what do you do to experience happiness? So sometimes the greatest challenge to healing is actually getting up and counteracting negative momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And again, like we have said, if you're in the beginning of the transmission, it involves the up and down between the state of resistance and the state of expansion and liberation. Because every time you re-encounter resistance and shift back into the expanded state, it's like there are little rubber bands that pull you back into resistance. But when you lift back up, you rip away some of those rubber bands until there are none left. And so it must be, in a way, okay to bounce back and forth. And it is important, well, to do the inner work. But that is only a portion of it. And in this case, the greater portion of the work is the outer work, of how to create the experiences that you really desire.
Mhm. So not focusing so much on the healing and integration, but just like, what do you want to create
Yes,
for yourself?
yes.
Okay.
Doing,
And would you say that there's some sorry. Mhm.
no, go ahead.
Would you say that there is some inner child healing to do?
Yes. And again, there are two sides to that coin. So on one hand, it involves going into those past memories and re-experiencing emotions that are blocked and memories that allowed for those belief systems that generate those emotions to be installed, and revisiting that inner child as your adult self to let them know you're there to comfort them and support them and help them transform. Create a new memory that is an overlay on the old memory and becomes a source of inspiration rather than a reminder of pain. And then the other side is doing things that then reflect the new memory. So if you were not allowed to play with your friends and forced to stay home, or perhaps you didn't experience the kind of connection with friends as a child as you wanted, and you revisit that memory and transform it, then what actions can you take now that create that same kind of energy in your present moment reality? And making these actions playful, because again, if you're healing your inner child, you are making up for lost time in the playfulness department. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go out and celebrate your life as well, and that is equally and just as importantly part of the healing.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that makes
Yes,
sense.
thanks. You as well. Healing is supposed to feel good, just like health food is supposed to taste good. And your conditioning has made it seem as if those things that benefit you do not give you the fullest satisfaction. But actually, as you grow more, you will come to discover that those things that are really the absolute best for you will always be filled with pleasure and satisfaction. So allow that to guide you.
Even the re-experiencing the negative, even that
Yes,
could be.
because it brings an experience of catharsis.
Right.
Some people even really like when they pop a pimple. Yes, because it hurts a bit, but something is released. So
That's right. Yeah.
you don't need to focus on the part of it that hurts so much, but focus upon knowing that when that pain is released, the empty space can then be filled with joy and love. And then even that is a very satisfying process.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks and love to you as well.
Thank you, everyone. Amanda just joined us. Do you have a question, Amanda?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Our last little bit here. And I know that the fires in Mount Shasta, the fire question is really on my mind. You know, it's wanting to live in community here in the Pacific Northwest on the land and in the trees, and just really wondering, you know, how we are going to change the situation with these fires. And I know my beautiful friend Leslie from Mount Shasta is here, and they just contained a fire there right near her house. Do you have any message for us about these fires? And is this fire season pretty much over? Are we going to have another big resurgence?
This season
And
has
what about the
peaked.
future?
This season has peaked, yes, but the fire situation will continue unless, again, those drastic changes are made in your environment. So focus on putting pressure on organizations that destroy the environment to change. Focus on, again, restoring wisdom as to the idea of controlled burns and ancient ways of preventing forest fires, and in a way live in a state of non-attachment. Because again, if this is where you would really like to live, this is something you will have to deal with. So do you own the land? Do you actually own the land? Nature has its own plan. That is all.
Okay, so you're recommending to not buy community land in Pacific Northwest? I mean, I don't know which agencies to contact or the specific steps to take, and what agencies, what actual steps I can take.
Even with a legal document saying this is your land, in a greater sense, do you really own the land? So you have to detach in a way from these ways that you have decided to divide the resources of your world. The land is its own living consciousness. You can play your game of real estate with it, but it decides what it is doing. You aren't in control of it. So if you want to have land, it is for a time. You will die. And it might be for a shorter time because it might burn.
I guess
We are sorry to
just,
be so matter of fact about it, though you wanted the most correct answer.
yeah, so it might be time to relocate. I don't know.
But
Thank
couldn't
you.
this be changed by shifting timelines? For example, instead of action, I was always wondering this dichotomy between taking action and dreaming a different reality. Because in a previous transmission, you said that you confirmed that we can shift almost any timeline we wish based on our soul themes relevance. So
You can always shift your personal timelines, and you do it every day. Though in terms of bigger collective timelines in which you would have to get many corporations on board with a dramatic change in how energy is managed and used, it is a lot to ask of the collective to shift that timeline. And sometimes for the longer term lessons to be learned, there have to be sacrifices made in order to learn those lessons. Your world will carry on, though the landscape will change, especially in this country, it's the United States.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Sarah, Josh?
All right, thank you. Do we have any more? We're getting on towards 5 after 1, so I guess we should probably conclude.
I may have one small question this time,
Okay, Josh,
fully
go
condensed,
for it.
if I may.
All right, a small one.
Thank you again, Council.
All right.
I know we're having a planetary transition to fourth density from what's been told various times in the Law of One. But I was also wondering, as well as feeling, as if there's a possibility for some of our beings to transition from that fourth to fifth and sixth one, and also wondering what would that entail?
Oh, that will happen in your future. Those transitions are different. It is actually not relevant for you to understand all that it is involved in those transitions right now at this particular moment. Focus instead on that shifting to fourth density.
Okay, I'll put my focus on that then. Thank you.
Yes. And meanwhile, as you are shifting to the fourth density, it does not mean you cannot experience the consciousness of the higher densities while still transforming your individual consciousness to stabilize in this idea of a fourth density or fifth dimension.
Okay.
All right, that will do.
Right.
So
well,
we thank all of you for participating in this transmission, this moment of your time. It has been an honor, a privilege, a blessing for us to connect with all of you. And we thank you for choosing to participate and integrate this information and allow it to ripple out from your being to support your whole planet in this grand growth process. Again, remembering that lightness is the key to do what allows the resistance and tension to fall away and live in the flow of love. You seem to need that reminder more and again and again. So we leave you with it and encourage you to trust that when you make that your primary guidance, your intuition fills in the gaps, and you may come as well to meet beings like ourselves who are always eager and happy to support you in bringing in new information and revelations to your world. So our thanks to you, and we wish you then the most pleasant continued experience on this day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pleiadian Council. Thank you, Dante.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Awesome, dude.
That was an awesome one. That was one of the best I've ever experienced.
That was one of the best.
So I'm sad
Yep.
because maybe I can't live in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe none of us can live
It
on
was
on the coast of the United States anymore.
Well, you can live there, but you just have to be prepared to leave sometimes. That's it. Prepared to vacate property at any moment. It's like,
Well, and breathing that air, I don't want to go through those kind of dynamics as a regular thing. I'm definitely going to move if that's going to be the case.
Could be a learning experience. Nah.
No,
well,
I have no
we don't
desire.
want every learning experience.
I have no desire to be in fires
It's true.
like that
A pirate?
again.
Sorry, I heard you didn't
But
want
are
to
we?
be a
I wonder
pirate.
if we're going to have trees left on the planet with that kind of an answer. That's just a
see you
really
later.
sobering answer. I feel like crying. I love my Pacific Northwest. I love these trees. I love the California trees. It's just a really sad answer. So I'm probably going to have to go
Don't
cry.
worry. Don't worry, Sarah. Things will change.
I love the trees. How can I not? I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel that answer. That was a huge,
If you want to.
sobering answer. I love the forest. I love the trees. It's one of my favorite things about planet Earth are trees. And I just wonder,
Sarah,
are we gonna have any left?
There will be
But
trees
Sarah,
left on the planet. There will be trees left on the planet. It's just, the incidence of these fires may continue to increase because it's a trend of continued global warming, and it's getting hotter. Like, we can't deny it anymore. It's getting hotter and hotter, more fires, more crazy things. So we just have to be prepared, and it's part of the shift, and sometimes it takes a lot for people to wake up to things.
And more will be planted. As some go, more come.
We have
Like
the technology to plant billions a day with special drones and special seeds.
Yeah. I do think that those technologies will probably emerge too. who really knows? But you know,
Yeah, I
beyond
wonder if
everything
the
else, I remember life goes on.
extraterrestrials I wonder if the extraterrestrials can intervene with mitigating some of the global warming at this point.
Oh,
I mean, it
hey,
seems so radical.
what about quantum activism? Set up a group, 100,000 possibilities. Work for the underground bases.
Everything is possible.
Oh well,
So,
you know, it's all a dream. Seeing how it plays out, there must be some much greater
mhm.
intelligence moving through all of it. So it's
There
just
really
it's
is.
humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a greater plan and greater intelligence.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful session. I was like, every question was just so amazing.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty potent too.
So we
Yeah.
didn't get too
Oh,
many
It
views
was
on
fantastic.
YouTube yet, but it was a
yeah, this
wonderful
was
session. I don't know, maybe
this
we should
was
just
stick with Facebook. Who knows? Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
let's stick with Facebook. Yeah.
I just wanted to experiment with, you know, what happens, but you also have to keep in mind, like on YouTube, when somebody views, like they have to click on it for it to count as a view. On Facebook, if they just scroll past it, and watch for like 10 seconds, it'll count as a view.
It'll count as a view. Yeah, yeah.
So it might be a little bit different. And I don't know if like any of the people that are here today are here because they saw it on the YouTube feed versus like their Facebook users. You know?
By the way, this week you forgot to put a link on the community page about this Zoom meeting on YouTube.
Oh, on the YouTube. Yeah. That's because I just made a video about it yesterday.
I see.
I shared it to the channeling immersion page, but and my timeline and all over the place, but yeah.
The video was titled something about testing or something, and that's why I haven't looked at it. I thought you were technically testing
I was
the live
technically
stream.
testing the live stream. Yeah. That's true, Emily. Everyone should know by now
It's
that
true.
that is
Everybody should
happening.
know. I've been
And
sharing it for a
every
gazillion
Friday.
years. Every
So
Friday.
it's
Yep.
every Friday, and there's no plan on stopping it anytime soon. So there you go. I
Cool.
did put in the Zoom room my donation links to Venmo or PayPal. If you want to support, I very much appreciate it. It helps continuing to do this. And yeah. Anyway.
Thanks,
Yeah,
love.
we'll be.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll promote your followers to set a Friday alarm on their phone. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, that's an idea. I like it. Friday alarm. Ding dong.
Put on your
Go
Friday
watch
alarm.
channeling.
Time to get the download.
Yeah, I love the community, you know, that just gathers around these calls. That's one of my favorite things, is being here with you guys and the great questions and our own, what we share in common, you know, a lot of commonality. Good stuff.
I noticed this is the first time that Laurel hasn't joined. That's surprising to me.
Oh wow, no Laurel, no
You,
Denise.
Laurel.
I saw that Otto was here, but I guess he had to go.
It's late in Sweden.
Yeah. Oh, Adrian, we're just about done. I think we're done.
I mean, we are done.
We are done. Let's
I love you though.
Hey Luke, are you
love
from
you.
France?
No, Romania.
Is your native language French?
It's a Latin language, but quite similar to French. I can easily understand 50% of French language.
Sarah, can you hit the 3 dots on the computer and hit
I
end
will.
stream?
I can just click end. You ready?
Yeah, end stream. Yep. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye,
Channeling
everyone.
course.
Bye.
If you want to join one more spot, I do sessions. Okay, that's all. Bye.
Bye.
Much
Ciao,
love.
ciao.